Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do just a very chill kind of kiki with you guys, talk into the void and share sort of my 2 cents about this ongoing discourse that I've been listening to and reading about how 2025 is going to be the death of microtrends, and we're going to see the rise of more people coming back to themselves and wanting to develop their personal style. Now, as a personal stylist, this makes me so happy to hear for a number of reasons, of course. I think we're getting to the point where people are just exhausted. We're tired. We're tired for a number of reasons. We are exhausted mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, all of the above. And I think with this age of technology and people constantly being fed in milliseconds so much stuff when it comes to fashion and style and trends and the latest it thing and the latest aesthetic and all that stuff, but it takes a toll on you. And I think people are just tired of feeling like they're not good enough. I think people are also just starting to have this intrinsic growing awareness of how incredibly harmful and unsustainable feeding into fads really is, not only for the environment, of course, but also for our health and so many intersections of just life too. Financially also, people are really wanting to just tap into what are the things that have always brought them joy, what are the things that have always made them feel reflected in the items that they wear and the way that they adorn themselves. And I think people are wanting to come back to that and live more playfully, live more creatively, live more freely and expressively through so many avenues, especially again living in a time where we're feeling so almost constricted and censored and just freedom of expression. And fashion has always been a way to make a statement, whether politically or in the form of rebellion, whatever it is. I think fashion has always had that power. And I think in a time where there's people in power that are trying so hard to erase the existence of LGBTQIA plus people and the trans community and all these beautiful individuals that have always existed, I think people are wanting to fight back on that, and people are really wanting to use their sense of personal style to just showcase and highlight their beliefs and who they are and what they stand for. I love it. And I've always loved, when it comes to fashion, I've always loved things that are different. I've always loved things that are a little kooky. I love things that are weird and just alternative. And like for me, that's always something that has brought a lot of joy and excitement for my own expression through fashion. And I think people are really wanting to just tap back into that. But again, the journey of understanding ourselves is so personal and it's lifelong. And I feel like personal style is always evolving. And it is a direct reflection of the evolution that we go through internally. The advice that I tell people when they're trying to figure out, well, what things do I like? Like, I don't know. And it takes a lot of inner work and just understanding who you are. I think if a lot of people haven't had the time or haven't done the work to just better understand themselves and who they are as a person and all the super deep things that make them who they are, their lived experiences, their culture, their interests, the accumulation of just life that they've lived. I feel like if people don't do that and haven't done a lot of that inner shadow work and that inner healing, then they feel really lost. And I think that's why a lot of people just buy into all the fads and buy into all the trends, because they see everybody else around them wearing it, and so they just assume that that's what they need to be wearing too, when really you don't. You don't have to subscribe to every single fad that happens and that comes out. Dress like everybody else around you, and you begin to dress exactly like that influencer that you saw, or that other person you saw on TikTok or whatever. Like, again, it's not a bad thing to pull inspiration from different things, but when I feel like you're trying to just copy exactly what everybody else is doing, what everybody else is wearing, you lose that sense of individuality and you lose that sense of self in the process. And what things have I always liked? Just start there. And I think for me personally, something that helps me when it comes to my personal style is thinking about the things I've always liked when I was really little, like really, really little, because that inner child still lives within me, and I get to honor my inner child by living and expressing myself now through all the things that she always loved and she always was so like inspired by. Did you like specific games, or did you like, were you a kid that spent all your time outside playing, climbing trees, getting dirty, and or were you somebody who loved to paint and draw and listen to music and dance and be silly? Or, I think when we can kind of reconnect to our inner child and tap back into that sense of play, that's really where we begin to see the magic happen, honestly. Get off your phone, put on some bangers, listen to some music, let yourself just vibe and have a good time, and just start playing dress up with your closet. Literally just shop your closet, start thinking of like, what if I mixed this with this and this and this, because the only way you're going to discover what actually feels good to you and what actually resonates with you is when you can play. And that is something that I'm always trying to embody and tap into. And some of my best outfits and some of my favorite outfits that I've ever made and worn have literally just been when I'm in that creative flow state and I'm just playing. And I think it's a beautiful thing because, again, the art of showing up for yourself and expressing yourself is a proclamation of love. It is a celebration of who you are. And you deserve that, and you deserve to give yourself that safe space to do so. But if you are still struggling, and if you are someone who is like, I don't know how to play with my wardrobe, and like, I don't know what looks good with what, this is why I'm here. This is why I do what I do. Feel free to leave me a comment. I offer free discovery calls for anybody who's interested. What a discovery call looks like is that we do a 30-minute video call where you talk to me about some of the current struggles and challenges that you're facing in your style and your fashion and just your means of expression. And we kind of talk about what are some of the ways I can best serve you and help you navigate that. Anywho, those are just my 2 cents. I think it's a really beautiful thing that people are wanting to come back to their sense of self and really explore personal styling. And again, personal styling is personal, and I think it's also good to remember that we are multifaceted and we don't belong in just one box. We're not just one aesthetic, we're not just one thing, we're a multitude of things, and our fashion choices can reflect that beautifully. And you can do it in a way without having to constantly be buying all the latest things that come out. You can cultivate your wardrobe by being really intentional with what you buy, so that you can give yourself more style choices in the long run that reflect all the different personalities and emotions that you're feeling. So I think it's great. I'm so here for it. Fashion is powerful. How we show up for ourselves is powerful. and it's an act of love, and it's an act of celebration in who we are. I love you guys so much, and again, if you are really interested in learning more about personal styling, leave me a comment. I would love to connect with you and kind of tell you more about what I offer and what I do, or just more about what personal styling is and what that would look like for you in your life. Feel free to like this video, share it, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. It really helps me. I really want to be putting so much more energy and time into growing this. And bye!